everybody, welcome back to my channel. So it is that time of year where a cold front blew into South Texas today, and I'm so excited, and I'm wearing a light sweater, my loungewear around the house that's cozy and warm. I'm so excited. But it is also that time of year where Christmas vacation is coming up, and we need to know what can we do with our kids to keep them entertained, because it's a small little summer vacation when we're like, we don't know what to do. It's costing us so much money. These kids are eating us out of house and home. And so I have come up with some activities that you can do with your kids that are either free or low cost. And this can be year-round stuff. This is stuff that I implement with my son. And this is something that I got really good at doing when I was going through my divorce, and I had absolutely no money. I was in $30,000 worth of debt. I didn't even really have my business up and running properly yet, but I needed to find ways to get us out of the house and for my own sanity as well, because we didn't have cable, TV, internet, nothing at that time. So it was kind of like a silent house. So this is how I would get my son and I out of the house, and so I wanted to share some of these with you guys. So of course, number one is a given: the parks. So if it is not too cold, it's not rainy or snowy where you live, the parks are the perfect option. For us down here in South Texas, the weather gets really beautiful when it's not misty. We tend to get cold fronts that come with like this ugly, horrible mist that I hate so bad. But when it's not misty, it's actually nice and sunny with a really crisp breeze. And so it's beautiful, beautiful weather for the park. And so that is something that's obviously free. And we have a lot of beautiful parks around here that I can take my son to, that he can just go play on the swings, on the slides, and it's something that he really enjoys. And of course, it's free. Another option for this time of year is town fairs. So there is a lot of town and city fairs going on, a lot of things that you can do that are free. Now, I know sometimes they can be a little more expensive because they have food and they have things for sale, but if you just skip out on all of that and just go for the free activities and go for the scenery, it can be a really low cost and fun time. I know my son and I used to go and we would walk around. It's called Edinburgh, Texas is a city here, and they had a beautiful, huge Christmas tree that you could just go look at, and then they had different vendors as you would walk around. They would have art, they would have music and like concerts on a stage, and so that was really fun for us because we could just kind of walk around, see the scenery, say hello to people, listen to the music, look at the tree, maybe take some pictures, and it was a really free and fun time. And then they did have some food trucks that would sell affordable snacks, like they would sell like a spiraled potato, and it has like little like toppings on it, and I think it was like $3 or something with a drink. So we were going to these things and spending less than $5 for both of us to have a really good time and a snack. And again, it was low cost and you can make it completely free. So this one I am really excited to share because I am going to sign up here where I live to become a volunteer for our Paws Center, which is a no-kill shelter. So they are an adoption center, and I went recently to learn about cats and to help feral cats in our community. And I got to see their cat rooms. They're like these huge rooms that you could just look into, and you can actually go in and pet the cats. So if you have an adoption center where you live, you may want to see if you can sign up as a volunteer, because my son is also allowed to come in with me. I did ask them as a junior volunteer, and they have what's called socialization rooms where they have little kittens and they have friendly cats, and you just kind of help keep them socialized, and you can pet them and you can play with them. And if you don't have any allergies or things like that, this is a really fun option. I don't know what kid would be like, I don't want to go pet little kittens. So I think that is something fun, and it's free, and you're also donating your time to a good cause as well. So you're kind of, you know, killing two birds with one stone. You're teaching your children how to give their time and to volunteer, along with having a fun day out and getting out of the house. So for me, I was like a kid in a candy shop. I was like, this is so exciting. There's cats everywhere. And so I haven't taken my son quite yet. I'm going through the process to become an official volunteer, and then I believe I have to get him signed up to do that. So I want to see how that goes. So on that same topic, pet stores is also a really fun trip out. We have some really cool pet stores around here that have exotic animals, and we like to go to PetSmart on occasion, especially when I have to go buy stuff for my dog and my cat. We kind of make a little trip out of it, and we go around and we look at the fish and we look at the birds, and we just kind of take our time, and it's kind of like a little trip out of the house, and it's free aside from the things that I need to buy for my animals. But we really have a good time doing that. He really enjoys seeing all the gerbils and all the cute little animals and, you know, the reptiles and all that fun stuff. So there's definitely bigger pet stores and some some cities that have really fun animals that you can just go and browse around and take a look at. And it's just like a little mini trip to the zoo. Another place that we frequent a lot is our local library, and we are super lucky because even though we don't live in a very big place, we have the largest library in the United States, I believe. It was an old Walmart that was turned into a library, and it's got a beautiful kids area. They do tons of activities weekly. I'm always keeping up on Facebook to see what their events are. This last week we went to an event which was bubbles and sidewalk chalk, and they had this industrial bubble blower. They set up like little centers with bubbles, and then they had tons of sidewalk chalk so the kids could decorate the sidewalk outside. It was an hour event. My son really enjoyed it. We went together to eat Chick-fil-A afterwards and had an ice cream. But if we would have skipped that step, it would have been a completely free evening. He would have been so content. But we hardly go and eat at fast food places, so I really wanted to make a night of it for us. And I think I spent like $12 at Chick-fil-A with our meals, and I actually got him a Happy Meal because I don't always do that, or like the kids meal. I usually just get us like dollar stuff, and he's always fine with that. But I wanted to really treat him, and then we got ice cream cones. So check out your local library. We now moved to a neighbor city that has another library where they do things every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And this Wednesday they're making slime, and I do not DJ on Wednesday night, so we are going to go and do that. So it's really fun and it's free. It's awesome. And they even have play centers inside of our library with like blocks and stuff like that. So check out your local library, see what activities they offer and what they have, because sometimes we'll just go hang out. I'll do my homework on the kid's couch there while he's coloring, or he's playing with the blocks and there are toys there, and we just have a blast. And again, on that same kind of route of the library, check your local Barnes and Noble because they do story times. And so that's really exciting. I know our Barnes and Noble has like a Starbucks inside. And so again, if you wanted to make it completely free, you could just go to Barnes & Noble for the story time, and then I believe they have like a play area in there. Or if you wanted to make it kind of a treat for like maybe like a $10 and under type of day, you could get like a cookie and some hot chocolate, something like that to maybe share and split, and I think that would be really fun as well. But again, I like to focus more on the free aspect of it, but if we are wanting to splurge, then I do add a little something like that into our day. So where we live, we have dollar theaters. We have a dollar movie where it costs $1.25 to watch a movie that's maybe a little bit older, but still in theaters, but not quite out yet. And then I believe in the evenings it's $2.25. My son and I just went to go watch Christopher Robin. We had a really good time. He took his Winnie the Pooh Scentsy buddy, and we watched Christopher Robin. And then they have a kids pack popcorn that was like $5.25. So it comes with a popcorn, a drink, and a candy. And so our entire trip was under $10 for both of us to watch a movie. But God forbid, or not God forbid, but do not get yourself something as an adult, because I made that mistake when I took him to see the Avengers a few months ago. I got a water and it was $4. It was as much as his kids pack. So just, if you're going to go to the dollar theaters, if you guys have one, just get a drink before and keep yourself quenched at least for the 2 hours. And if you're going to treat your kids, I'm sure they can share a kids pack. The popcorns are pretty good. So check your theaters, check your town, and see if they have a local dollar theater. It's a really great deal. I pretty much don't go to the normal theater unless I really, really, really want to see something. Otherwise, we always go to the dollar theater, which is like maybe once every few months. You can also do movie nights at home with your kids, get lots of blankets, pillows, and get something off of Netflix or Hulu, or even on demand, because if you have a large family, even going to a dollar theater could be a little bit expensive if you have a lot of kids, because that's a lot of popcorn and drinks and stuff like that. So you can just make homemade popcorn, get homemade candy, or not homemade candy, but store-bought candy and things like that, and just get something on demand. I believe movies on demand are like $5.95, and that's way cheaper than taking your entire family to the theater. Plus it's really fun because everybody can camp out in the living room and be cozy and just watch something that the entire family agrees on, and that's a super low cost and quality time spent together idea. So where we live, we have what's called city concerts, and they call them concerts on the lawn or something like that, or outdoor lawn concerts, and they are in a civic center where we live. We have like a big old water thing and like a civic center for like activities and weddings and stuff, and they do a concert in the park that's free. You can bring your blankets, you can bring snacks, your pets are welcome to come, your kids are welcome to come. I personally have not been to one because I usually DJ on the nights that they host them, but I've heard really great things about them, and I know a lot of other cities do free things like that as well. Also movies in the park, our city does that as well during, I believe, the summer. So I think probably in some cities where you have really beautiful falls, they might have some stuff like that. And you really just need to keep an eye out for these things. There's a lot of things that I didn't know about until I had my son that kind of came into the mom radar. Before that, I had no clue that there was any of these things. So all these things can also make a really great date day or date night with a spouse. You know, most of these things can kind of go for that as well. So one of my favorite things is nature walks. I love when I travel. My son and I just went to Colorado. We went to the botanical gardens and we walked around. And where we live, we have a butterfly center. We have a wildlife refugee. We also have a zoo not too far away. And they offer free Sundays at the Wildlife Refugee once a month here where we live. I believe the Butterfly Center, they have like dollar days. Then they have another place called Quinta Mazatlan or something like that. And I'm not really sure. I think it's like trails as well with animals and different species that you can kind of see just hanging out in the nature there. I have not been to any of those places. I'm really disappointed to say that because when I travel, I love to do all those things. And it is that time of year now where I'm definitely going to start taking my son to do that kind of stuff. The reason we have not gone to those kinds of places is because it is so hot where we live. It's like 85% humidity and it gets up to like 110 degrees. So it is not pleasant to walk around in those places with that kind of weather. But with this time of year, like I said, we do get that sunny weather with a crisp, really cool breeze. So now that he's 4, I really want to focus on taking him to do more of those kinds of activities. And like I said, they do offer really low cost days and they do have kids activities and all sorts of stuff that I've seen on Facebook. So check your Facebook events and just kind of scroll and see what's being offered in your area as far as like nature stuff. And I'm going to give you guys a bonus one because this is one that I was really excited to see about when I traveled as well. But museums. There's kids museums in different cities. There's museums with kids activities. I know ours does that, and ours participates in the EBT, which is the food stamp card. If you have one, you can get in for $1 with your family. Each person can get in for $1. And when I went to Colorado and I was researching the botanical gardens and the children's museum, they also participate in an EBT program in Denver. So that has to tell me, I mean, we are like 2 different states, like thousands of miles apart. That has to tell me that other cities in the United States are participating in something like this as well. And so I think it's so important to go to museums and to expose your children to art and to different types of art. I just think it's so fun. Ours did like a space night recently and we went and it was really affordable. And I think they had like some special price. They had a planetarium, they did an animal talk, so we got to touch like this big lizard. It was so much fun. So definitely check out your museums and maybe you can Google and see if any places where you live participate in an EBT program. If you are an EBT card holder, I think it's definitely worth looking into. So those are all the activities that I have off of the top of my head for now. If you like these types of videos, give me a thumbs up. Please feel free to subscribe if you are new. Also guys, hit that notification bell so you always get notified when I update or upload a new video for you guys, because I know sometimes people aren't getting those. I heard that the less that you watch people, the less they come out in your stream, I guess. So I know that can happen sometimes to everybody. You're like, where is this person? And then you realize that they've been uploading. So be sure to hit that notification bell. I will see you guys in my next video. If you have any requests or if you have any activities that are low cost or free, leave them down below so we can all read about them. I will see you guys soon. Bye.